Good day, Moonies. Welcome to the Sailorlicious channel. I'm Sailorlicious and I'm coming to you with another video. Today we're going to talk about everything wrong with the DIC dub. There will also be an everything right about the DIC dub video that I will be posting, and it actually was recorded first, but I felt maybe I should put this one out first so I didn't have to get as many, oh, there was so much wrong with the DIC dubs comments. So let's get started. First thing we're going to talk about is they cut out too much stuff completely unnecessarily from the Japanese. Things like Luna's flip and important scenes for the plot, and then other things that happened, but that stuff is once Cloverway took over, and it didn't get much better as far as cutting things out. But we lived with it, and if you saw the dub first, it didn't affect you as much. But then if you went back and watched the Japanese version, or his version later, you realized it, and you're still kind of wondering why. So, the name Negaverse instead of the Dark Kingdom. What is a Negaverse? Do we really know what that is? Is there really a reason we changed this? Is there really anything in the word dark or kingdom that made it seem so bad to use Dark Kingdom, which honestly sounds way better anyway? Yeah. And because of all these changes, the script suffered. Thank you. The script suffered a lot because of things like Negaverse, and it was from Japanese to English. Now there are certain names that get changed in animes where you're like, okay, I understand that. A lot of English-speaking people could not pronounce that name if they had to talk about it. But at the same time, wouldn't it be easier for us to pronounce it if we got to hear it often in, say, an anime where someone said their name? Makes you think. Now we're going to actually talk specifically about adding in the unnecessary scenes. Now, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about scenes like in the opening where they added in spoilers showing Usagi as the Moon Princess before we even got that reveal in the show. Anyone watching the DIC dub back in the 90s already knew, if they were paying attention, who the Moon Princess was, so everything with Sailor Venus was null and void. Luckily, I usually didn't watch the opening because I was talking to my friend. The same one that got me into Sailor Moon, if you have seen my Sailor Moon Save My Life video. Alright, next we're going to talk about Sailor Moon Says. Sailor Moon Says will also be, if you watch that video, in my Everything Good About DIC video. And when we get to that video, I will explain why it's in there. Right now, we're putting it in the Everything Wrong with the DIC dub video. And that's because Sailor Moon Says segment is really corny, and it was only in there because it was required by the FTC back in the 90s that there's something educational in all children's programming in order for it to be on television. Next is something that a lot of fans really hate, so I'm going to put it in here, even though it didn't bother me as much, despite being from the north, and that was Naru's or Molly's voice. A lot of people hate it, so I decided to add it in, even though I don't find it too big a deal, but it is slightly annoying. Now, the change of Senshi to Scout. I don't even know why. So, yeah. CGI transitions between scenes. Again, I don't know why that was done. Moving scenes around from places where they once were to different places, or taking them out and leaving this really awkward gap that even if you hadn't seen the Japanese version, you kind of noticed. Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall. It didn't happen very often, but it did happen. And in many anime that's not that kind of anime, where that's the kind of thing you do, it doesn't work. Now we get back into some major things. Forgetting their own changes. Example, confusing the Negaverse with the Negaforce. The Negaverse is one thing, the Negaforce is a different thing. But on occasion, they tended to use the words interchangeably as if they were the same thing. And that could confuse a lot of people back then. And if he had just left it alone and left it as a Dark Kingdom, then we wouldn't have had to have these confusions. And then we'd have our leader and all that stuff. Making characters meaner than they actually are. This is a specific bone I have to pick. First off, they're making characters like Mamoru or Darien and Rei meaner than they were in the Japanese version. And then, as it is, the anime already made them meaner than they actually are in the manga. Rei is a completely different character in the manga. So different. She's one of my favorites because of her elegance and beauty. She's supposed to be one of the most beautiful women in the country. She's not supposed to have the same generic look as everyone else. And she's definitely not this hot-headed girl who was vying for Usagi's spot as leader of the team. So, yeah. Bad slang. And, of course, I don't mean profanity because that's not slang. I'm talking about just outdated wannabe 90s slang, but it's really not. Not a big deal, really. I don't really care. Usagi. Usagi's not actually as dumb as she comes across in the English version. It's kind of like Goku in the English dub for Dragon Ball Z. And everyone's so confounded now with Super that Goku's so goofy and so out of it. Yeah. The power sticks of the henshin, or, or at least transformation pens. Something. Making Usagi, now Sailor V, but changing later scenes to keep the continuity. It's so bad that I'm not even completely sure what I'm talking about myself right now. The Sailor Moon speech that I used to enjoy as a child until I saw the Japanese version and realized how much better it was. Now, depending on which speech she said, it was not as bad, or it was worse. It depended on if she said if, and that means you, or I will punish. It just, yeah. Replaying scenes after commercials, and that's something that a lot of dubs do, but it still aggravates me to no end. Skipping entire episodes, which I did mention earlier, and the Luna Pen. The Luna Pen. It's called the Disguise Pen, but we said the Luna Pen because I don't know why. Changing attack or henshin names. I don't know why this is a thing they did. I don't know why it felt necessary to change the names of the attacks in the show for English. It just seems like one of those really unnecessary changes that was completely unneeded. There were also times when they sped up or slowed down animation in the scenes. And again, it seems like something that was unneeded. And maybe it was in order to fit it into their 25, 30-minute time slot. And so things need to go faster or things need to go longer in order to fit. But then we just could have gotten another episode. It was a lot of focus on Mikado or Lita's bad reputation. And I just felt like that was unfair. So that's all. Changing the Barrow backstory just seemed a little unnecessary. And then giving Ale and Anne connections to Barrow as being galactic invaders of sorts was also kind of weird, to say the least. They also changed Midnight Zero to Loveline in the episode with that. I don't really know why. Again, especially since the reason that certain things were changed, you'd think that Midnight Zero would be a better name instead of the Love Line. There was bad dialogue. The writing, bad dialogue. It doesn't have anything to do with the voice actors themselves. That's just on the writers. Things like, go bleach your roots, creep. That was just, it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I still think it's hilarious. But it's just like, why? I don't know why that was something they thought was necessary to put in there. It's kind of an interesting insult, I guess. But, okay. And then there's the Luna Mind Meld. It's like, okay, I guess. But anyway, that is my list for everything bad about the deep dub. If you think there's some more things that could be added to this list, big or small, I tried not to put in too many small nitpicks, then let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you would like and have not already to get more videos that I will post on this channel. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. And remember, as I always say, in the name of the moon, have a great day.